Hi, this is Brandon Spillane from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about exercise called the seated band good morning. This is a great lower back extension-based exercise, really aimed at trying to help your deadlift and your squat. What you're going to need is you are going to need some kind of band that you can choke to a rack or a pole or something at home, and something you can sit on. So super easy. You can probably honestly do about anywhere, especially if you've got your own bands. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the band, we're going to put it around our neck, and then your stance is going to be up to you in terms of what you're trying to do. You can have them more narrow, which might resemble like a conventional deadlift. You can have them super wide, like a sumo, or you can have them more in like a squat stance somewhere in the middle. All personal preference. I personally prefer it wider. I think I feel it in my hips a little bit more. But again, use whatever you think you need for your particular needs. We're going to put it on here. I like to start up at the top, make sure I'm in a good quality position, keep my hands on the band just a little bit so I'm not trying to kill my neck. And then what I want to do is I want to come down, let it pull me forward, and then arch back. So as you can see, I'm letting this pull me forward and come back. Good quality range of motion. Don't just come down to here. Okay, let it bend you all the way over and come all the way back. Okay, now that was probably honestly a little easy for me, but usually this is going to be a higher rep exercise. This is an exercise you're probably going to do for about 15 to 25 reps. Really high reps, 3 to 4 sets. Really try to get some good quality stimulus down there in the mid back and lower back area. This is not something that's going to like directly fatigue you, destroy you, at least it should not be. It's really about trying to train the extension-based muscles. However, we're going to get them get good and long and then short. We're going to train a good quality full range of motion, so that way the tissues are resilient. They've been trained in good quality full ranges of motion, but we're also going to try to make sure we get a little bit stronger from that as well by training in those ranges of motion, so we're more resilient and things can help us in our squat and our deadlift. Now, I would never program these, honestly, really for any of my athletes. I think there's better ways to get adaptations for certain things, especially with the population that I work with. A lot of collegiate, high school, and middle school athletes. They're not powerlifting or anything. However, I do have some powerlifters that I work with, and I really honestly think this is a great exercise, again, to build that tissue resiliency and train in full ranges of motion. The bad thing about powerlifting is we get stuck in certain planes and certain ranges of motion, and we don't broaden that, and then we wonder why we have issues pop up and creep up as we get stronger and we move less and less while we're getting stronger. If we can try to keep that tissue resiliency, we might be able to prevent some injuries, especially in the low back, and somebody's had low back issues. I can tell you this exercise actually feels really good for me. I usually don't like bending over, but being in this position for me, it feels completely fine. So again, this is like an exercise that could be a great finisher at the end of your workout. It's honestly could be a great way to warm up. You're trying to get warmed up to deadlift for the day. Come over here, do about 2 sets of 30 of these, really get things warmed up. After you've done, some glute and hamstring based work or just, some quality actual warm up stuff, but do this right before you go over deadlift, you'll feel really good, be able to grab that bar and you'll be able to get going. The other thing you can do as well is use this on extra recovery based days. So on days where you're trying to just do 2 or 3 light band exercises, it's going to take you about 20 minutes at the most. You're really just trying to get blood flow, GPP based work, a la Westside and Louis Simmons. This would be a great thing you can do for 2 to 3 sets of, again, like 30 reps or so. Get some blood flowing, get in those good quality ranges of motion, and get in and get out. So if you got any questions about this exercise, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.